So good morning. I'm Jules Chester, R. Armeza. I will be presenting obligations and contracts for the Articles 1323 to 1331. Article 1323. An offer becomes ineffective upon death in civil interdiction, insanity, or insolvency of either party before acceptance is conveyed. Analyzing the provision, it is clear that the offer of A has A become ineffective and that the contract of donation, as a consequence, has been perfected. For my interpretation for this article of the Civil Code is decisive. This article declares that an offer becomes ineffective upon the death, civil interdiction, insanity, or insolvency of either party before acceptance is conveyed. So first is death. One example is that Fiona offers to sell her beach resort to Shrek for the amount of 1.5 million pesos. But the day before they are going to meet for the payment and their contract will be made, Fiona died. So therefore, the meeting of the mind of the two parties become ineffective because of the death of Fiona. Second is civil interdiction. In this preceding illustration, supposing that the Fiona was sentenced to life imprisonment because she was found in the murder case and there is no acceptance had been conveyed by Shrek before the sale. Therefore, the offer made by Fiona became ineffective because of her sentence carried out with civil interdiction. Third is insanity. Same as above the illustration, Fiona became insane before Shrek accepted her offer to the contract, became ineffective because an insane person cannot give consent to the contract. Lastly is insolvency. If Fiona declared by the court was an insolvent person due to her inability or lack of means to pay one's debt before Shrek accepted the offer. Therefore, the meeting of the two minds of the parties is not valid because of the insolvency of the offerer. Next is Article 1324. It says here that an offer has been allowed to offer you on a certain period to accept. The offer may be withdrawn at any time because acceptance by communicating such withdrawal, except when the option is found upon consideration as a something paid or promised. The interpretation is that the article applies only to a situation where the offerer has allowed the offeree in a certain period of time to accept. This is giving the offeree the option to accept or not to accept within the fixed period of time. The example is that on April 1st, 2023, JC gives Nini up until April 10th, 2023, within which to buy or not to buy a certain car for 200,000 pesos. Before Nini notifies JC of his decision to buy the car, JC can revoke his offer even before April 10th, 2023 has expired by notifying Nini of that fact if the offer is withdrawn. Nini can no longer elect to buy the car. However, if Nini paid JC 500 pesos as a consideration of the option, JC cannot withdraw the offer before April 10th, 2023 as expired. Next is Article 1325. Unless it appears otherwise, business advertisements of things for sale are not definite offers but mere invitation to make an offer. So the interpretation is that business advertisements of things for sale may or may not be constituent in defined offer. They are merely invitation to the readers to make an offer or only as a proposal. However, if the advertisement is complete in all particular necessary in a contract, it may amount to a definite offer, or it is a definite offer when the object is determined. One example is that a 400 square meter lot at number 111, Road 5 at Drum Village Barangay Calyos, Santa Cruz, Laguna for 600,000. And inquiries call the numbers below. So in this example, if the advertisement does not contain all the information data for the future contract, it is not definite offer and just a mere invitation to make an offer. For example, number 2, a 400 square meter lot in Barangay Calyos, Santa Cruz, Laguna is for sale for 600K. In this example, clearly the advertisement is just an invitation to people to make offers. If the offer are made, the same may or may not be accepted by the advertiser being mere invitations. Here in this article, when can a business advertisement of things is a definite offer? The answer is that a business advertisement of things is a definite offer when the advertisement is complete in or particular in a contract when the object is determined. Next is Article 1326. Advertisement for bidders are simply invitation to make proposal, and a advertiser is not bound to accept the highest and lowest bidder unless the contract appears. My interpretation is that in an advertisement, it can be concluded that the highest bid, highest or lowest, gives rise to the bidding contract. In this case, each bids imply the perfection of the contract subject to the condition of making a better bid. One example is that Andrew should put up an auction in Jay's piece of jewelry. He announces that the auction and the invite of offers. When anyone bids, he makes an offer and offer may be accepted or rejected by the bidder. Article 1327. The following cannot give consent to a contract. An emancipated minor, insane or demented person, a deaf, mutes who do not know how to write. So my interpretation is that the mental capacity that will in, incapacitate a person from giving the consent to contracts is inability to understand the nature and effect of the transaction which is he is engaged. This means that the person may be considered mentally incapacitated if he is suffering from a mental illness such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, or if he is under the influence of drugs or alcohol. However, simply being old, sick, or having a monomia or delusion of wealth will not be sufficient to invalidate the contract unless it is shown that the person was incapable of understanding the transaction at the time the contract was entered to. One example is that Anna, a 7-year-old girl, bought a liquor from 8-Eleven. The sale is not valid even if Anna is a minor. Lastly, Article 1331. So that mistake may invalidate a consent. It should refer to the substance of the things which is the object of the contract, or to those conditions which have primarily moved one or both parties to enter into the contract. So my interpretation is that mistakes as to the identity or qualification of one of the parties will vitiate consent only when such identities or qualifications have been the principal cause of the contract. So there are 3 examples. Mistake regarding to the object. Noel is buying from Sarah a breeding cow, but Sarah is selling a barren cow. So there are mistakes made by Noel in understanding what Sarah is selling. Sample 2 is that mistake regarding to the condition of the contract. Alex is selling a parcel of land for 100,000 pesos cash, but Brent is buying the land thinking that the price is payable in installment. Lastly, mistake regarding to the identity or qualifications. Woody donated his car to Buzz. Woody thought that Buzz was his half-brother. It turns out that Buzz is not related to Woody. The mistake as to the identity of Buzz in this case is material because his identity was principal reason or consideration for donation. That's all and thank you for listening.